it's Wren! Since this week is Storytime Week, I thought I'd give you guys a kind of weird story from a while ago. So I'm sure that most of you guys can probably relate to really wanting to have a best friend next door. Or at least a friend that you could just go over to their house, have sleepovers, all that fun stuff. Well, I, like most of you, really wanted this. But sadly, things didn't... Wait, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So a few years ago, when I was 10, it was all snowy outside, all beautiful and everything. You know, the time of the year where all the kids come out. Me and my parents were driving home, and then all of a sudden, I noticed that there were some kids playing next door. They were out in their front lawn, and they were building snowmen. This literally looked too good to be true. I had to make sure that I wasn't dreaming. One of the things about me, especially when I was a little bit younger, was I would have this huge thing of being shy. I would always be terrified to play with other kids, even though I really wanted to play with them. In fact, I used to actually stare at kids when I wanted to play with them, hoping that they'd come over to come play with me, but that's a story for another time. So I quickly jumped out of the car and started army crawling through the snow in our front yard, hoping that they wouldn't see me as I got close to them. I was getting close to them so I could investigate. And then all of a sudden I got up close enough and I was hiding behind this tree, and then I quietly said, "Hi." They then looked around as if they had heard a ghost, having no idea where the sound had just come from. Then one of them spotted me. This is the part where I carefully came out from behind the tree and went over to go play with them. I was so happy! Finally some friends in my neighborhood that literally lived next door. I actually had quite a bit of fun with them. After a long day of playing in the snow, I went home and had some hot chocolate. I don't exactly remember when, but I'm pretty sure that this was the next day. They come over to my front door with some sleds. Me and my mom opened the door and they said that they wanted to go sledding with me. I, of course, was freaking out. Oh my god, someone wanted to go sledding with me? My mom asked if we were going with any adults. They then pointed to someone down the street and they said, "Yeah, that lady's gonna take us." The kids then waved down at the lady and she waved back. My mom, of course, believed them and let me go. So then we finally got over to the spot where they wanted to go sledding. The area that they wanted to go sledding was this gigantically steep hill. Like literally it must have been, you can't even see, it must have been like that, like almost sheer drop-off road. At the very bottom of the road was another road going like that, where the cars couldn't even notice that you were coming down. I obviously noticed that this was a really dangerous situation. So I stood back for a moment and let them go first. Then they kind of pressured me into doing it. I totally forgot to mention this, but as we were getting over to the sledding spot, it was very obvious that that lady was actually not going with us. They had lied directly to my mom's face, saying that lady was gonna take us, but there were no adults with us. Then I finally got up the guts. I got in one of the sleds, and I quickly started going down the hill. It was like lightning speed! My heart was beating like crazy, knowing that I was doing something wrong, but kind of liking it in a weird way. All was good until a car wanted to come from the road down below up the hill. It actually almost hit a few of them. But thankfully, we all survived and all was good. So after sledding for probably about 2 hours, we grabbed the sleds and we started to head home. But as we started to head home, one of the girls had said that she had hurt her ankle really badly. Now, one of the things that I kind of hate about myself sometimes is that I am a very helpful person. Like, if someone's in need, I'm obviously gonna help them. If someone's sad, I'm gonna make them feel better. It's a thing about me. I'm just too good of a person. So I, of course, offered to help the girl. She said it would help her a lot if I was to pull her in the sled all the way home. Oh my god, this girl must have weighed about 120 pounds, which there's nothing wrong with that weight. It's a perfect weight. But it is not a weight that you want to be pulling down the street for miles. So I am trudging as hard as I can. My arm feels like it's gonna fall off. This girl's just living it up down there, you know. She's doing great, actually. Almost too good. Finally, as I'm out of breath, we make it back to their house. And when I stop the sled, the girl jumps out of it and runs home. Yeah, her ankle was totally hurt. At this point, I was starting to get kind of mad at them. I mean, I just pulled this girl for miles, and then she just runs out of the thing and says, "Thank you, it was a great time." After that event, I didn't really hang out with the kids very much. But this one time, they decided to come over to my house. We all were jumping on the trampoline, and then they said that they wanted some snacks. So of course I said, sure, why not? So we all went inside and we started to grab some snacks. Most of us grabbed normal snacks, but one of the girls had literally just grabbed a package of ramen and just started eating the noodles dry. Like, is that normal? I really hope that you enjoyed these fun story times. If you want to check out my main channel, click right here. And I will see you guys next week. Follow your dreams, they can take you anywhere.